Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, it's that time of year to welcome back spring. We'll go to a local cherry blossom tree festival for the celebration.
Plus, El Camino opens a brand new state-of-the-art instructional building.
Then local artists and now business owners make their dreams come true. We'll tell you how.
And a lemonade stand with a cause that will show you how two kids helped their grandfather and many others with their fight against cancer. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. A Torrance vocational school may be in danger of closing. The Southern California Regional Occupational Center, or SoCal-ROC, is among 72 regional occupational programs in danger across the state. A potential consequence of Governor Jerry Brown's proposed school funding overhaul, the program may have to close come July. According to SoCal-ROC Superintendent Christine Hoffman, the program is slated to receive $0 next school year. Hoffman discovered the problem back in January and has teamed up with Assemblyman Al Maratsucci, who has written Bill AB 1214, a bill that would help spare the program. The bill has already been introduced to the Rules Committee and is in the process of making its way to the Education Committee before it can be voted on. While most occupational programs offer courses on the campus of existing high schools, SoCal-ROC is different in that it has its own campus. For years, students have been bused in from the 6 South Bay school districts it serves and educates free of charge. Classes are typically taught by industry professionals and include plumbing, banking, nursing, and video game design, to name a few of their career tech education courses. Having educated 500,000 residents since its start in 1967, Hoffman says losing the program would be a travesty to the South Bay.
The Torrance Rose Float Association is halfway there to raising their much-needed funds to support next year's Rose Float entry. Now, this year's big supporter is the American Youth Soccer Organization, or AYSO, that's headquartered in Harbor Gateway. So far, they've raised about half of the needed funds for the association. Now, they're hoping for the full $100,000 for its themed float in the 2014 Rose Parade. Next year's parade would mark the 100th anniversary of Torrance's first float entry. The AYSO will also celebrate an anniversary, its 50th birthday, as it was founded in 1964 from a Torrance garage near Jefferson Middle School. Now, with the help of AYSO and a contribution from last year's sponsor, Ace Clearwater, the Rose Float Association is optimistic their funding goals will be met. But they still are asking for help. Now, if you'd like to contribute, you can visit ayso.org or torrancerosefloat.com.
Newly appointed Assemblyman Al Maratsucci hosted an open house here in Torrance recently, inviting the community to share their concerns and questions.
Well, I've always talked about good jobs, good schools, and safe neighborhoods as being among my top 3 priorities.
Maratsucci recently established his new district office in Torrance near City Hall. He said it was a no-brainer since it is right smack dab in the middle of his territory. At the open house, he took comments, suggestions, and discussed his plans for the future. Prime issues he's currently working on include Veterans Affairs, education financing, and preserving natural resources. The Assemblyman says that it has been a challenge so far adjusting to living in both Sacramento and the South Bay, but he says it's worth it.
Now get on your computer and start voting for Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center. Livestrong is awarding grants of up to $15,000 to nonprofit organizations that provide exceptional services to cancer patients. The hospital applied for a grant to implement the Advanced Certification for Palliative Care program. Now the program is designed to set standards and acknowledge hospitals providing state-of-the-art services that relieve symptoms and stress of serious illness and improve quality of life for patients. Their goal is to transform the culture of care to focus more on healing, not just curing. To cast your vote, visit vote.livestrong.org.
Students at El Camino College are reaping the benefits of a bond measure passed years ago, making their educational experience one of the top-notch in the community. This is El Camino's second completely new instructional facility built in nearly 45 years. Support was out in full force for the new $35 million project. The state-of-the-art math, business, allied health building has everything a student could ask for.
Grabbing a 2 pair of 1, 34 weeks
The new 4-level, 115,000 square foot building will house the nursing, respiratory care, and radiological technology program, as well as the mathematical sciences and business division. Registered students will now have access to 58 classrooms, 11 computer labs, and 3,000 square foot tutoring center. The building was made possible by the Measure E Facilities Bond in 2002. Funds from the measure are used to make safety, technology, and energy-saving improvements to classrooms, labs, and other instructional facilities. Measure E cost only $7 a year per $100,000 assessed property value.
You know, as we all know, educational buildings like this MBA building is an investment in our students, in the community, and in our future workforce.
The new building also includes sustainable features that exceeds California energy standards by a remarkable 25%.
The Pediatric Therapy Network's second annual Mardi Gras celebration was a huge success. Live jazz by the Andrew Carney Quartet and food tasting by local sponsors were just a few of the highlights at the sold-out event. Sponsored by Sunrider International and hosted by the Miyako Hybrid Hotel, netted approximately $25,000 for the network. Founded in '96, PTN has been providing Torrance with high-quality therapy, research, and education for children with special needs. For more information, visit pediatrictherapynetwork.org.
The mayor and city council members were back in session this week. Here's an update on the latest meeting. The West Torrance Silver Strikers girls under-10 AYSO soccer team was recognized for winning the area championship. The team was undefeated up until their last game of the season, but had another opportunity to succeed when they were invited to the Area 1 playoffs. Now, despite missing 2 players, the team went undefeated to win the Area 1 championship. Congratulations, girls. The meeting was adjourned in memory of John LaBeouf, who passed away on February 12th at the age of 81. LaBeouf served on the Water, Civil Service, and Planning Commissions as he had a keen interest in community development and fair personnel practices. He is survived by his wife of 55 years, Jackie, their 2 daughters, Margaret and Joan, and 8 grandchildren. You can catch replays of this week's council meeting right here on CitiCABLE 3, on Time Warner Cable, or Verizon Fios Channel 31 every Wednesday at 10 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. You can also watch online at torranceca.gov. Coming up, a school uses a new approach that is helping special needs children in more ways than one.
And we'll take you to an annual art contest for high school students you won't want to miss.
We're here today to ask people about marriage.
For starters, what's the best thing about being married?
Who I get to stay married to. Family.
Togetherness.
To me, is having a companion.
This person.
My favorite thing about being married is that I have a partner.
Do you think your marriage is good for more than just the 2 of you?
Does it influence those around us?
Yeah, I think.
In a positive way?
I think so.
I would hope that people would see that when we're together that we really have a very true affection for each other.
What everybody wants, and we know we're lucky to have it.
The energy we give out in our home, I think, spreads out to other people.
Your marriage just continues to go on and on and on.
Oh sure, and affect generations after us.
I think it really sort of stabilizes your whole community. It's a cornerstone of a society, right?
Sounds like a good marriage goes a long way.
It touches a lot of people.
Want to improve your marriage? For ideas, go to foryourmarriage.org. A message from the Catholic Church.
It's springtime here in Torrance, and Columbia Park recently hosted an event for the community to celebrate the season.
At the Cherry Blossom Festival in Columbia Park, over 400 event attendees enjoyed traditional music, dance, and martial art performances from over 7 Japanese performers. Many guests were even invited to join in on the show. The second annual event began in 2012 as a way to celebrate the city's growing relationship with Soka Gakkai International, a Buddhist association for peace who began donating many of the cherry blossom trees in the park 8 years ago.
We are very grateful to have received over 150 cherry blossom trees from SGI International, 110 of which are located here in this very park today.
In Japan, cherry blossom trees are a symbol of hope, virtue, and new beginnings. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Brittany Bin.
Thanks, Brittany. Cherry blossom trees bloom for only a short period of time, so hurry over to Columbia Park to catch the view while you can.
Family and friendship is the picture proud new business owners wanted to paint. Reporter Wealthy Jenner takes us to the latest art gallery opening.
Dolly and Brian Higa have waited for this moment for years.
1, 2, 3. Yay!
The local couple celebrated the grand opening of the California Museum of Fine Art, a 5,600 square feet space to house some of the finest art from around the globe.
It's always been a dream of my wife's and mine also to kind of establish our own gallery. But then, you know, we wanted something to be a little different, so we wanted to incorporate educational aspects. We also wanted to incorporate international artists coming in because my wife's from China.
It's a family affair here at the California Museum of Fine Art, where President Brian Higa's wife, Dolly Higa, is one of the featured resident artists and directors here at the museum. One of her paintings, called Grandpa, is actually a painting of her father. Located on Marcelina Avenue in downtown Torrance, the California Museum of Fine Art displays paintings from renowned artists like Millie Green and John Acero.
So they're all different mix, different styles, you know, different kind of palettes, but definitely the highest caliber. And so and good friends. So all the things that we want to make international, but we also want to be personal and make it like a home, like a family business. You know.
Transforming the historic building originally built in the 1930s, they've invited the Torrance community to come together with their friends and family and enjoy the works of art.
Well, I think Dolly did an extraordinary job. I mean, she's a little domino. She redid this place, and I think she did an amazing job.
The dream has come true for the Higas, and their hope is to continue to display their own art as well as their friends' art for years to come. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Wealthy Jenner.
To visit the museum, you can make an appointment by calling 424-262-0189 or visit CaliforniaMuseumOfFineArt.com for more information.
One Torrance school is giving families with challenging students hope, and the out-of-the-box approach is allowing kids to thrive. Our reporter Julie Parton has more.
Would you like some pepper? Yeah. A little bit of salt.
Joe Newman was in kindergarten when the district and his family knew that a traditional school was not going to be an option for him.
There you go. And Joe, a little bit for you.
Joe has a chromosomal abnormality, and while he is a whiz at math, he has problems with short-term memory and overstimulation.
His behaviors and his disabilities prevented him from being in a classroom with typical kids, even with an aide with him. So he needed an environment that was more designed around him.
For students on the autism spectrum and with complicated neurological diagnosis, getting an education can be incredibly challenging. For Joe and his family, the Center for Learning Unlimited was their last hope. Virginia Matthews saw a need within the education community and decided to fill it. She built an accredited non-public school whose goal is to reconnect complex children with their potential.
There are always those children that don't fit the definitions. But the difference here is we approach our children through building relationships. It is a relationship-based intervention where kids learn their strengths, learn how to manage their challenges, but they also, more importantly, understand and learn how to create a relationship and a friendship.
Typical students who go to CLU have had multiple school failures and social isolation. Due to that gap, a team of specialists meet together to decide on an individualized academic plan for each child.
We're really going to the interests of the student, and we're finding other ways to reach them. We're not just sitting down drilling the kids, prepping them for tests. We're finding real-world applications for learning.
A day at the school is interactive and flexible and includes hands-on activities and field trips. There is a very low student-to-staff ratio, and the capacity of the school is 35 kids. The formula has been life-changing for students like Joe.
When Joe came to CLU many years ago, he couldn't be here all day. He literally was just, in a classroom by himself. And now Joe is in a more generalized setting. He's able to communicate with peers, wants to be with peers. He's just made friends. So, for the first time, Joe has just a big group of friends.
It's a far cry from the painful time when his mother waited in the car for the usual call that Joe would have to be taken home.
Ginny came out one day and she said, "Corey, you don't have to sit here. You can go do something. He's here and he's fine." And then from there we increased the time, and now he's here all day. So, pretty amazing.
I think the parents' biggest aha is that they have their family back.
For CitiCABLE, I'm Julie Parton.
Thank you, Julie. The Center for Learning Unlimited just celebrated its 10th anniversary and provides for students all across Southern California as far as Riverside and Orange County.
High school students were recently honored for their ability to communicate the importance of diversity through the arts. Our reporter Brittany Ben has that story.
North High senior Kimberly Elwood has been honored at the Visions of Unity Art Contest for the past 3 years, and it's something she believes allows students to embrace their roles in the community as agents of change.
I think it's really important for students like us around Torrance to be leaders and actually contribute to the future and make the future the best way we can possible.
With funding for the arts becoming less and less available in schools across California, the annual contest plays an important role in furthering the artistic education of high school students across the South Bay.
Inspiring creativity and helping young people to discover the power that they have to affect change, to tell their stories, to even explore the intergenerational issues that they have.
Spreading MLK's vision of unity, this year's art contest is the biggest one yet, with over 200 student entries, just like the ones you see here.
We had to winnow that down to give as many prizes as we could. We like to honor all the students for their works.
With so many entries, this year's contest boasted 8 categories, including photography, new media, poetry, and ceramics. After entering the contest a year ago and coming up short, this year's first-place sculpture artist, Jesse Gonzalez, is pleased his piece honoring his Aztec heritage was recognized.
I just feel that it's a big opportunity that I got today. It's not very often that a student that's from a disadvantaged community actually winning an award and being here.
In addition to being honored during the ceremony, students read sections of their work expressing how racism has affected them.
Kids were beaten just for what they looked like. I saw it firsthand, trapped in a forming circle of animals, instigators chanting profanities. And everywhere, I was an outsider.
With the continuation of contests like this, students embrace the arts and multiculturalism. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Brittany Ben.
Throughout the month of April, all the winning entries will be on display at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library.
Coming up after the break, 2 kids helped their grandfather in a great cause with a lemonade stand.
This could be a bicycle or a bat. This could be a robot or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag or a soccer ball. This could be a book. This could be beautiful. This cannot be trash. This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close.
Of wanting
to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
This close. We are this close to ending polio.
All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
The Pacific Gateway Investment Network invites you to the 2013 Public Comment Forum on Workforce Training and Employment. Learn what businesses are looking for from the Workforce Board and provide your input on what services you would like to see to help in job searches. Your input will help shape the local plan, which outlines future investments in employment services and training to meet the needs of job seekers and employers. The event takes place on Thursday, March 21st at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library. For more information, visit torranceart.org, torrancearts.org, or call 562-570-WORK.
The Torrance South Bay YMCA will host this year's National Splash Swim program on April 1st through the 5th. This low-cost community event is designed to teach children ages 3 and up swim skills and water safety in a safe and caring environment. Now, you do not need to be a member of the YMCA to sign up for this fun 5-day program. For more information, visit ymcala.org or call 310-325-5885.
Now let's go out to the sports desk where Juan Hernandez has the sports.
Juan, what do you have for us?
Hey there, everybody checking out This Week in Torrance. Thanks for checking in with us here on the sports desk. Check out a couple things we got going on the show this week. First up, we got the Bishop Montgomery Knights doing big things in the SoCal Regional Playoffs, but one costly mistake could prove deadly to their run at the state title. Plus, the South Spartans on the volleyball court looking to defend their CIF championship title from last year. We're going to see if they're on the move and doing big things. You want to see all that, you got to check in with us here on the show every day at 4 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE 3.
How would you like to help fight leukemia? Simply by buying a refreshing glass of lemonade. Reporter Hima Sabid shows us how.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And that is exactly what Gavin and Dean Ashley decided to do after their grandfather was diagnosed with AML, a form of leukemia.
2 years ago, like now, I was in the hospital waiting for a bone marrow transplant. And coincidentally, the leukemia drive came up at the school. And so Dean said, well, we had to have a lemonade stand for Grandpa.
John Bellevaux has since been leukemia-free, but his grandsons Gavin, 6 years old, and Dean, who's 7, continue to have their lemonade stand once every year. Collecting donations for Pennies for Patients is a campaign held at schools throughout the country, helping children with leukemia.
People have pulled up and just, I don't want any lemonade, and just, I just want to donate. And I think, cancer touches so many people that it just resonates.
Neighbor Stella Very stopped by to show support.
I have a lot of people with cancer in my family, so I feel like I'm celebrating them and their wellness by coming out and donating some money.
This is the 3rd year Gavin and Dean have brought this lemonade stand to the community, and they've learned more than just how to make lemonade.
It teaches the kids. That's really what it's all about for me, is teaches them to give back, and it's not all about them and toys, and it's about helping other people.
It's really neat to be able to have the students and all the children help as well, so they can get a good feeling at a young age of what, is important to do.
Last year alone, the Ashley brothers raised $1,600, all to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And over time, they've created the perfect lemonade recipe.
A little sour and sweet. And last year and the year before, I think it was a little too sweet. It took 16 lemons, and we have a machine to squeeze the lemons.
And the Ashley brothers are paving the way for other people in the community to lend a helping hand.
I think what they're doing is they're making all the grown-ups more aware of what we should be doing.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thank you, Hiba. Another heartwarming story. The Ashley brothers raised more than $1,500, and checks are still being counted. For more information on how you can donate to Pennies for Patients, go to schoolandyouth.org. Well, that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.